Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and I wanted to show you a basic tutorial on how to use turrets, all of the basic beginner entry-level steps in order to what they do, how much damage they do, all kinds of stuff like that. And this will kind of give you a whole bunch of generic things to get started inside of Ark. I will have an advanced tutorial on how to do things like LOS preventing, that kind of stuff. If you don't even know what that means, that'll be a different video, but this is just going to be the basics of turrets inside of Ark Survival Ascended. Now, if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for that algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. And that would be much appreciated. But outside of that, let's get started. So there are a total of 4 turrets in the base game of Ark Survival Ascended. You have your auto turret, your heavy auto turret, your plant species X, and then your tech turret. So basically, I'm going to go over these one by one. I'm going to start with this one right here because it's the easiest to access, plant species X. Plant species X is a plant that can be gathered inside of swampy areas, and you can plant it inside of a large crop plot. Using fertilizer and then having it irrigated, a plant like this will grow. It'll be called plant species X, and it essentially functions as an early game turret. Now, just like every other turret, you do have access to change its range and then how to target with things, and then it will do damage. Now, it does not do as much as the other turrets, but plant species X have 2 awesome abilities. One, when it is shooting, it's actually going to shoot and slow things, no matter what size the creature is. If they get hit by a plant species X seed, they get slowed significantly, so they can't move nearly as fast. And then also, it's going to reduce the amount of healing because it applies the Dilophosaur effect to it. So, plant species X are great, even late game, to have 1 or 2 of these inside of a base, because if one of these hits somebody that's trying to push your base quickly, it's going to make them rethink how they go about it. In early game Ark, so on the island only, there is no way to kill these except for catapults or getting close to them, so they're very, very strong even late game. So that's pretty nice. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go over this in this first part of the video here. So basically, you can put it to sleep by going into its inventory and click wake up or go back to sleep. Wake up obviously means that it's usable, and then put back to sleep means that it's not going to shoot like it currently is. And there are 2 other settings you want to watch out for. Range is low, medium, and high, and pretty much all turrets function on the same level. Low is about 5 foundations, medium's about 10-ish, 11 foundations, and then you're going to get about 20-ish foundations out of high. Each one of the turrets has a slightly different attack range, so just be aware of that, but they're all right around those numbers that I just mentioned, give or take a few. Now, each one of these has a slightly different range setting for low, medium, and high. We're talking minuscule differences, but they are slightly different. So that is the actual settings for the plant species X. Now, once we get into the turret known as the auto turret, this is the first unlockable turret in the game, and it shoots advanced rifle bullets. However, every setting inside of it is almost identical to plant species X. You've got a range, you've got a targeting ability. The only thing that it adds in is a warning, so you can actually put on a warning for somebody if they get near your turrets, and it's like, hey, go away, you're gonna get shot. Now, that's pretty much the major difference. You will have to have electric power to that. Unlike the plant species X, you will not need to irrigate this one, obviously. You just need power for it. And then as soon as you turn it on, it's going to shoot using your advanced rifle bullets 1 at a time. You can see those bullets go down, and it's going to do 118 base damage a shot. Now, it shoots approximately 3 or 4 bullets a second, so you can see that it does quite a bit of damage over time. However, of the 3 technical turrets, it is the worst of them because it does the least damage, and it has the least health to it. See how it's only got 3,000 health? It is very simple to kill a auto turret for a defensive purpose. However, they are still very, very strong. Late game, auto turrets are terrible, but early and mid game, auto turrets are very, very valuable. So definitely start using them. Now, next on our list is the heavy auto turret. The heavy auto turret is quite literally 4 auto turrets. That's all it is. You can see that it shoots advanced rifle bullets, and it has the exact same settings as the auto turret: high, warning, and then what you want to target. So that is how you use all of that. Now, it functions the exact same if I was to turn it on, but it does 4 times as much damage as a regular auto turret. Technically, it's a little higher than 4 times, but that is what it does. So the heavy auto turret, you can see that it shoots at the exact same rate. However, it does that 4x damage because it counts as 4 auto turrets, and it's like 4.3, give or take. You can see 531. So the heavy auto turret is a very, very dangerous late game turret because you have to unlock it at level 100. So that's something that's kind of difficult to reach, just so you know. But it is a very effective turret. However, it shoots bullets. You can see how much quicker it's going through bullets at a lot faster rate because it shoots 4 bullets per second. Even though it looks like only 1 is firing, there are actually 4 bullets that are going off, so keep that in mind. Heavy auto turret is very dangerous. However, it is also very expensive to run because in order to run one of these for a successful raid defense, you probably need at least 6 of these slots filled. Otherwise, your heavy auto turrets are going to run out of bullets almost instantly. So definitely be aware of that. Now, next on our list is after beating Alpha Broodmother, you get the tech turret. Now, the tech turret is one of the most dangerous things in the entire game. It is very useful. You'll notice it has a ton of health to it. However, it shoots element shards, which can be very, very expensive for early game Ark, because in order to get element shards, you have to get element. In order to get element, you have to beat the bosses, and beating the bosses isn't necessarily easy for some people. However, if you do, this is the most damaging turret in the game. You can see 750 per shot on an unsaddled creature, and it shoots at the exact same rates that the other ones do. So it's going to do an insane amount of damage. Now, that damage is very, very useful, obviously, and it's got the exact same settings as the other one. Now, the one thing is it shoots 2 element shards per shot, so it can go down pretty slowly for actual ammo because you can put 1,000 per slot. And then you can obviously, that's a lot. 5,000 shards is a ton of shards and will last you quite a long time. So that is how you get it, but it's very hard to get access to this early game. So be very aware of that. Now, just like the other turrets, it's got a little bit of a settings that are almost identical, but the slight difference, by the way, is this one adds in set creature targeting level range. You can actually add in maximum and minimum creature levels in order to actually attack things. So you can, it's just one additional factor. It's not very useful in my personal opinion, but it would basically prevent you from attacking anything that's above like level 100 or something like that. But it's not super useful. Now, overall, the tech turret is obviously an end game turret that is very hard to get because it's difficult to make. However, it is very useful for the fact that it also has 2 additional factors other than just shooting at a higher damage rate. Its bullets, when they hit, have a knockback for anything that is a small or human-sized creature. It will provide a knockback when it hits you, basically continuing to blast you out of its range. Second thing is it has splash damage. So whenever it hits something, if there is something within about a 1 foundation range, it's going to also take splash damage. So you can see that that's 750. However, if someone was standing right around here, you can see where that little splash is. They're also going to take damage from that initial shot, which is going to be very, very expensive because if you're trying to raid on something and you're also getting hit by tech turret shots, that's going to hurt really, really bad. So keep that in mind. So because you've got that splash damage, tech turrets are incredibly dangerous inside of Ark. So definitely watch out for that. But in all combination, when you have all of these firing, it is very difficult to raid a base because you can see that I've got a slow applied, I've got splash damage, and then I've got damage being put out by both my heavy and my auto turret. So combining these turrets is a very effective range, or a very effective thing because of their range. Now, your auto turret, this one is the only one that is not useful, but however, late game, these other 3, that plant species X, the heavy auto turret, and the tech turret, are incredibly dangerous and useful because you want to make sure that you have different types of damage and different types of buffs, because this one is a heavy auto turret. If it sees you, it hits you. There is no travel time. The other 2, however, do have a travel time to them, so they can be dodged technically. So if I was to go over and I could dodge the tech turret bullets, I can move in and out of range and slowly waste those bullets. And some people have figured it out where you can actually get behind something and the tech turret will try and shoot you, but because of its inability to shoot based on line of sight, which means it's just going to instantly ping you, there is a travel time to its bullets, so you can technically miss if you're moving quickly. So tech turrets can be useful because they do that damage, but you need the auto turrets to get that exact hit on somebody. Now, the last thing that I'm going to show you is a quick setting change inside of this right here, right? You can actually change what your turrets go after. If you wanted every target in the game, you would do all targets. If you wanted survivors or creatures, it's always going to prefer the closest target, by the way. So if you have only survivors and tamed creatures, that's what's going to be something that you want to keep an eye for. Only survivors is going to avoid shooting any creature and only shoot players. Only wilds is only going to shoot wilds. Only survivors and mounted creatures means that anything that is not mounted is not going to get shot. whereas survivors and mounted creatures are going to be the things that get shot. And then only tamed creatures is going to avoid survivors and only shoot the tamed creatures. The best two settings that you can use is only survivors, and then also have a few of your turrets put to only survivors or tamed creatures. And this is basically going to allow you to shoot the survivors when they get close. And if anyone tries to push you with tames just by whistling them forwards to attack you to blow up, you will actually get them with the only survivors or tamed. So most of your turrets should be on only survivors, and a few of them should also be on survivors or tamed creatures. So anyways, a lot of information, but this is all basic level stuff. I'll have a more advanced tutorial here, but this is everything you need to know about the 4 turrets inside of Ark. So hopefully this video helps you out. And if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment for that algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. All right, teach.